Hey, coin folk. It's that time. Hoping for a good one. Got off the skunk streak last week at least. Maybe this week maybe we see an ender. Who knows? We got this in reserve, so if we got nothing else, we just got a couple hunts to do. Definitely circulated. Looks like we got a shiny one there. Not the good shine, but a new one at least. Let me put on my glasses, make sure I'm not missing anything. Man, my eyes are terrible. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything jumping out. But as last week showed us, doesn't mean they ain't in there. We just gotta go through them and see what we can find. So I will bring you back sometime. If nothing else at the end, tell you I didn't find nothing, but hopefully we find something. I'll be back. So very first roll here, and we got the usual suspect for a clash under the scope, the 83 Philly, and there is a little bit of a clash on it. I don't know how well it's gonna show up. It doesn't really show very well. You can see right in front of his lips there. You see that little squiggly line? That's a clash. And then his nose looks like he'd been in an 8-round fight or something. So there's nothing at the back of the neck, under the bust. Didn't see any clashing on the reverse anywhere. So, but a little bit of something out of the first roll. So hopefully that's just a sign of things to come, and hopefully we find a little something else. All right, folks, I'll bring you back in if we do. So we're on roll 10 here. Hasn't been a whole lot exciting so far, but I think this guy right here is going to be a proof. Definitely got that look to it, so I figured I'd bring you in. Let's see what we got. Definitely a proof. Let's see which way I got to flip it. This way. 1978. We got a little bit of a fine. That's cool. That's cool. No silver yet. No fantastic errors yet. I am piling up some. Sorry for the the fast camera movement. I hope nobody fell out of their chair. But they're not showing very well. But we got some 2023s. So I finally got stuff. Been waiting to find some so we can compare some DDOs. So probably get into that at some point. But for right now, I'm just stacking them up and continuing hunting. And I'll bring you back in the next one. So, very next roll, we got another proof. Missed it by the edge. It's a little beat up. Okay, it's very beat up. Let's just be honest about the situation. But she's definitely been out there in circulation for quite a while. But it is technically a proof. So, it is technically a find. And we're going to jump back in and see what else we can get. Well, we're through the top half of the box, and all we got is there's a couple proofs, and those 23s I'm still holding aside, so hopefully this second half down here is going to be a little better to us. I don't know. We'll see. Just a bunch of crumpled up wrappers. That's all we got. But let's jump into the next half. Hopefully it improves. So we're just wrapping up roll 40. Finds have been pretty slow, but we do have 3 NIFCs we found along the way. 2002 Philly and 2 2015 Phillies. And then we got one under the scope here. It's a 71D. I don't think I've ever found this one before. You can see how weak the W is in we, and the E is also a little bit weak. I think it's just from an over abraded die. Unfortunately, the coin's fairly dirty, but you can see a little bit of evidence on the nose of an old clash that looks like it's been cleaned up, and then it's real faint, but you can see evidence of the clash on the reverse as well. Let me see if maybe if I zoom out, it might show up a little bit better. kind of over towards the right near the arrows there, and then a little on the left. But it's not super strong. Maybe even a little bit up towards the stars there, above the ribbon. But I just thought it was kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. So I figured I'd bring it in and share. Especially since there ain't a whole lot in this box to talk about, unfortunately. But we still got 10 rows left. So let's see what else we can find. So we're on the second to last row here. Got a 1995 under the scope. If you can see, there's a real faint die crack coming off almost the tip of the bust there. You find these quite often on 95s and 96s. And I had actually seen this one earlier and went back to it to take a look to see if we had this crack up here. I was hoping for one even a little bit better, because we also found this one that I don't think I've ever found before. That same die crack, real light, down by the neck. But then up towards the top here, it's got like a whole spider web of die cracks. Got that one coming through the top of the hairline there, through the E, out back towards the rim. And then they're a little more faint, but you can see it comes down through the hair, down this way. And then also really faint splits off of this and comes down a little farther into the hair there. So that's pretty cool. I don't believe I've ever found this one before. There ain't no telling how many I've missed. Like, I don't know that I missed one like this, but that first one where I just have that lighter crack, I very well may have missed some of these before, because I see this lower die crack all the time and just kind of skip past them because I know they're quite common. So, but this one here, this one's pretty sweet. I'm definitely gonna have to hang on to that one. So just figured I'd bring it in and show it. We got one more roll to go. We've had, I don't even know where the heck I put it. Oh, here it is, I think. Yeah, one more, same 2015. So I think that makes 3 2015 NIFCs. So that's about as exciting as it's getting, though, unfortunately. I had a little bit of hope. We had a couple rolls that were slightly heavy, but nothing producing. So we got one more shot at it. And if not, I guess we'll just have to wait till the next box. Alright, so we finished up the box. Slightly uneventful this week, unfortunately. We did have those couple proofs. This beat up one. And this one is in a little better shape, at least. Still shows some signs of circulation, but. And then that 195 had a pretty crazy little die crack assortment up top there. But actually, I'd say we just finished the box. It's probably been about an hour and a half ago since I finished the box, and I've been spending time with these guys. All 2023s. I believe this would be the normal issue. These are all ones I've been holding on to. These two, I believe, are going to be the DDO that's already listed. And I believe these two are 2 other DDOs. So I'm going to do my best to explain what I'm looking at. If you don't like this kind of stuff, hey man, I'll see you on the next one, because we're going to get into the weeds a little bit here. But let me get set up and we'll take a look at them. Alright, so we're set up here to take a look at these. Before we even get started, just understand I am not the pro with this stuff by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just gonna kind of explain what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at. I'm sure I'm gonna use some terms that are wrong, or point out some stuff that isn't gonna make sense. It only makes sense in my mind's eye. So, but anyways, we're gonna do our best to go through these. I have several photos that I've taken of all the regular plus the 3 different ones that I believe are all DDOs. Well, the one we know is the DDO. It's already listed. But so on each one of these, the first one we'll look at is going to be the normal issue. Second one will be the DDO that's already listed, DDO 1, and then we'll look at the other two that I think are different that aren't listed. So let's jump in anyways. Wait, we're talking a lot. We ain't doing nothing. So this is the regular issue, looking at just the same area on this, all 4 coins. And you got, this is DDO 1. You can see the doubling on the I and the N there. Maybe a little bit on the back side of the G and under the D, or under the O, on kind of on the bottom left there. This would be the next one that I'm looking at that I believe to be a DDO as well. Same kind of general areas, but it's more just thickness and not, I don't know how to explain the difference. Like I said, I don't know all the right terms, but kind of up at the top of the N or the I, maybe a little bit on the N, and it seems to be extra thick down kind of on the bottom left hand side of the G and the O. And then lastly is this one here. It doesn't show up as much here, maybe just a little bit on the bottom left of the O. And I don't know, maybe let's look at the I. Let's go back to the first one. Maybe a little on the I as well. Whoop, whoop, went too far. Yeah, I would say the I is definitely thicker on both of the last two. So that's that area. We're going to jump to the next area. This will be the regular one. This is the DDO that's already listed. You can see it doubling kind of in the top of the T there real easily on the inside part, down at the bottom of the R and the U. This will be the next one. It seems to me it's kind of, I don't know, just a little bit of a spread maybe on the T and the R. And then I don't know if that down here on the bottom of the E is possibly also some doubling. And then lastly we got this one here. Where was I looking at on here? I don't even remember. Maybe it might not really show up too much on here. I think the U seems like it's kind of thicker on the last two. So that's the regular one. You can see mainly I'm looking at kind of this right hand, lower right hand of the U. This is the DDO that's listed. You can see the doubling on that. And then the last two just seem a little thicker to me. So I don't know. We'll see. But then we're looking at trust. This is the regular issue. This is the DDO that's listed. Obviously a lot easier to see in the T and the S especially. On the U. Same thing here. I think it's just thicker on the U and the S particularly is where it stands out to me, and plus that kind of, I don't know, smushed bottom on the T and the R. And pretty much the same on this one. The S might not be quite as thick. But that's that one. And then we move down to the date. This is the regular. The date is a little harder to get the exposed right for me for whatever reason, but this is the first DDO. You can see a doubling in the inside in the top of the 2 and a 0. This is the other, or the what I'm calling the DDO number 2, just for reference. We'll go number 2 and number 3. It looks like there's a little bit of doubling on top of the 2. And 3 here. I don't know if this is going to be doubling inside the 0 or if it's just maybe some reflection. But then we jump to the 2, 3 of the date. That's the regular issue. It's the DDO that's listed. You can see the doubling on top of the 2 there. It's kind of where it stands out most. Same thing here. I think it might be a little bit in the top of the 2. And then this will be number 3. I don't necessarily see a whole lot going on that one. Next, we're looking at the mint marks. I think this is where it shows up the easiest for me anyways. Mainly looking at the top and the bottom of the P. Just kind of the thickness of it overall. It's the DDO that's listed. You can see, especially on the top, to me, like it's clearly thicker. And then obviously on the one that's listed, you can see a doubling on that lower part of the serif and on the P itself. Like this would be number 3 or number 2 rather, sorry, and then number 3. We'll toggle backwards, number 2, number 1, and a regular. So we're going to jump ahead. I think we're just looking at a couple letters in Liberty. I think the L and the B is what we're going to be looking at, if I remember correctly. That's a regular one. DDO that's listed. And on both the 2 and the 3, I'm thinking the L just looks a little bit thicker. And then, like, I'm mainly looking at the bottom on the back end here. I don't know, it might not really be much at all. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to really tell. This one doesn't appear to be as thick as that one there, so. Anyways, onto the B. This is a regular issue. DDO that's listed. Kind of the easiest point is picking up right on the back side of the B there. And the same thing here, I think they just seem to be thicker, mainly towards the bottom there. Is kind of where it stands out to me, like the bottom back end, and then it looks like it's a little bit of doubling in. You can see on the back side, kind of similar to the number 1. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at anyways. And then I went through, since I have multiple examples of each of them, I kind of went through trying to look for I don't know, like dye markers, I guess, just to make them a little more easily identifiable for me. Let's see, the O1s here. Oop. Let me get back to where I need to be. Alright, so we're jumping over to a live view here. I think I was looking, was it the R? Yeah, the R. If I can get the light to hit it just right. There's kind of some dye polish lines kind of running this way, like across the top, the inside part of the R, and then you got some running at a diagonal, kind of, what would that be, northwest to southeast, kind of on the outside of the R there. And then on the back side, they're almost like straight across on the back side of the R over here. And this is another of the same issue, just so we could see, where am I going? Learn how to spell Liberty here. Same thing, you got the file lines running the same way. I know they're kind of tough to see. I don't even know how well it's gonna show up on camera, so just trying to move around the light a little bit. So that's the DDO that's listed. I don't know, they might have already identified a better marker for it, but that's just what I saw. Next one we're gonna look at is the number 2. Let me see, where was I looking? I want to say, yeah, it was down here on the IN of in. You see kind of some diagonal file lines here, and I'm mainly looking at this one that's coming off kind of just off the inside of that N, running down and to the right there, trying to get it to show up. There you can see it there pretty good. And on the next one, it's the same area, if I can find it. Yeah, there we go. So that was kind of a point that stood out to me. And then lastly, oh man, where the heck was I looking at on this one? We got 3 of this one, so we get kind of set up here, and I'll see if I can remember what the heck I was looking at. Oh, I remember. It's kind of right, like a laser beam kind of coming out of his eye here. You got these 2 file lines kind of right in this area, and then right above it they run almost parallel. And that's looking at the second one. I really hope these show up on camera. If not, I'm wasting a whole lot of time. And then the third example of the same coin that I have, those same file lines. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at. Feel free to chime in, tell me how wrong I am, maybe how right I am, who knows. Any help would be appreciated. Just kind of what I'm seeing. So that's gonna be it for this hunt. I've confused myself enough for the days. We're gonna wrap it up here. So, whoa, camera taking a dip. My bad, folks. Anyways, we'll see you on the next one. Like I said, I'd love some opinions out there from you guys that know your stuff. And let me know what we're looking at. All right, folks. See you later.